The Jake Giffin Podcast.
Do you think corporate America is teaching young men how to be providers? Are they teaching?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, that's going to have to come outside that framework. The corporate environment is about the corporate environment. They want gain. They will chew you up and spit you out, and they care not for your well-being. That's where the wholesome and health side of things, mental health, emotional health, spiritual values, we bring that to the business environment. So that's going to happen, Jake, in talks like this. That's going to happen. That's what the church should be doing. That's why, we really need to wake up and realize there is a vast, deep area that's not going to come from anywhere else but believers. This idea of deep, broad principle, things that are eternal in nature, you're not going to get that from American Express.
No.
You're not going to get that from Amazon. You can't call up and order a bushel basket of faith.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. It's relational stuff. Yeah. So things like what we're doing right now and books along this line and when you go to church Sunday morning and worship, you're looking for that. Get it. If you're not getting it, get somewhere where you do get it, because you got to take that to the marketplace. You're not going to find it there when you get there.
Do you remember? I mean, we Christians used to build universities and hospitals and everything else, and then we subcontracted that, or we outsourced it to the government when they started doing it, and now they have control of everything. So in your opinion, what is the 21st century version of a Christian hospital or university? What should we be doing with the men that's in our church and around us?
Yes. First of all, faithfulness. That fundamental bedrock notion of being faithful. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to criticize the American church for a bit. There is a face of the American church. Who is that? And I'm asking you a rhetorical question. The face of the American church.
I was getting ready to jump in and answer it.
Well, give me your answer. I'm curious, but I can tell you it is. The face of the American church is Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Are we embarrassed?
Yeah, a little bit.
Are we ashamed? Because we should be.
Yeah.
The prosperity gospel, that's the gospel that we really like. That if we could choose a gospel, that's the one we choose.
Yeah.
The prosperity gospel. We should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I mean, go back to the true gospel and tell me that has a place there. It does not.
No.
It does not.
No.
The true gospel is one of sin, salvation, repentance. I go to the cross every day. I get my mind renewed. I need holiness. I don't have it. I have to go somewhere where it exists. That's in God's throne room. So I need to go there with a serious mind and a penitent heart. And we trade all that in for cash. Most churches change the moment they sign their mortgage. They're really about the budget. Budgets, building, and status. That defines most activity in a church. It's a show. Lights, camera, action. We're there to be entertained, to drop money in the plate. Don't be hassled too much. Certainly don't be challenged. And go on about your business. Have a good week. Build some good relationships. That's where we start.
Yeah.
We return to the true gospel and embrace it, and then we build from there.
While I do agree that that's many like big churches, their motivation, that's putting on the show and doing that, getting the stage. And there's a lot of pastors that are very, very, very into, look at me, I want to be heard, I want to be famous, I want to this, I want to that. But isn't there, just knowing what you do about psychology and balancing these economics, is there maybe a point to where somebody who goes from, let's say, a 300 person church, which is pretty big in America, but I mean, let's say a 300 person church, they sign a 20-year lease on a bigger building, and they're growing like crazy, and now they're fully committed into these resources, and they absolutely have to keep this machine going because they're now tied up legally in this situation.
Yes.
So
that happens all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. So I would say this: ask the question, how did that change you?
How did that change you? Okay.
Yeah.
How
How
did it
did that
change it?
change the ethos, the spirit, the
Mhm.
focus, the time and attention, the priorities of the church? It becomes the offering plate.
Yeah.
That is the focus, and the building that we set in.
Mm. So we have to guard it. We have to guard against that, right? Like if you're,
It's
if
materialism.
yeah, well,
We've sold our soul to materialism.
if we're talking to a bunch of pastors right now and they're getting ready to get, let's say they're just freshly getting started as pastors and they're going to at some point undertake a building project or expansion. Hopefully the kingdom is growing. Hopefully people are being saved and baptized, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully they're doing kingdom work. At some point,
Yep.
they're going to get in what feels like over their head, and they're going to
Yes.
fully commit to it. There's going to be this pressure of, okay, let's say the board of directors comes to the guy and he goes, hey man, you're going to have to tone down your message a bit. We need more people coming through the doors
Yes.
to pay the bills.
Yes.
What do we say to that guy?
Who is your master now?
Hmm.
Who has become your master? I would say it's time for us to think about two words, just two words in that scenario: debt free.
Debt free. Yeah.
Debt free. How
Yeah.
about that? There's nothing wrong with having a nice building. There is
Mhm.
everything wrong with being enslaved
Yeah.
to a nice building. That's not why we show up. That's not what the book of Acts is about.
Hmm.
That's not what the four gospels are about: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I would dare anyone to read any of the letters from Romans 1 to Jude 25 and tell me that should be the priority. I would challenge
Yeah.
anyone to do that. And then, of course, Revelation is the end, where we're headed.
Yeah.
Uh, we've Americanized the gospel. The prosperity gospel is very much an American version. It's the one we're comfortable with. We like it. It makes us feel good.
Yeah.
Now I've
Well,
got faith. I'm strong in every way. I'm focused on making money. This is fabulous.
yeah. Well, they're taking
That
it
is
around.
shallow.
They're taking it around the world. Those guys.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
started
Yeah.
back. It started back what 30 years ago, 40 years ago with Hagen and Copeland and some of these other guys. And
Yes.
it's like
Oh yeah.
Jesse Duplantis
Oh
needed
yeah.
a jet so he could spread the gospel faster. Like, okay,
Yes.
sure,
Oh yeah.
sure you did.
Plenty of examples. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was just telling a friend the other day. I was like, at some point, I had the opportunity to be in a choir. Now, I happened to be in prison at the time, and I was in a choir, and we got to leave and go sing at these churches. And I remember there's one church we sang at was one of those kind of prosperity churches, but it was in an old renovated house, like a small house in
Yeah.
kind of a poor neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all of Kenneth Hagin's books and all those Word of Faith stuff right there in the foyer. And the small church, not more than 50, 60 people in that church. And the pastor had a three-piece suit and a gold watch on. And I thought, what in the world are we doing?
Oh yeah.
This is the craziest thing I'd seen in my life. I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
got a gold watch, a suit, and he's driving the Mercedes out in the parking lot. I'm like, where is this money coming from? There's only,
Yeah.
this is nuts.
Yep. Yep.
The
Yeah, that's a
churches,
fact.
so
We've lost focus.
we lost, and you got to be careful too. Because we're thinking about the church, and then part of that church is the business, right? There's
Yes.
income and there's expenses. And so what you're saying is debt free is to make sure that your cash flow doesn't get swallowed up by the interest payments that debt would cause,
Yes, I am
right?
saying that.
Because that's
Yes.
just that's going to bring your pressure level from, let's say, here, you know, to way up here if you got interest
Yes.
payments.
There you go. It's just a simple fact. And I would say, to back up just a little bit from that, here's the question you need to ask. Money is simply a tool. It's a necessary tool. You can do great things with it. That's all it is, a tool. It's in the church setting, money should do nothing but serve the purpose of the church,
That's right.
not the other way around.
Yeah.
And if you take on too much debt, then the purpose of the church is serving money. Very simple. Christ said it himself. You cannot serve God and mammon. Make up your
That's,
mind.
that's a
You
good
can't
point.
serve both.
That's
Yeah.
a good point because when you have too much debt, you are then serving money and you have to take in
Yeah.
the offering. You have to do those things.
Yep.
You're going to be forced. not forced to, but you're going to be very tempted to compromise on a lot of levels in order to pay those bills when you're suffering a lot
Yes.
of debt and your cash flow is strapped.
It changes your message. It changes your verbiage. It
Mm,
changes your ethos. It changes your priorities. It changes your programs. It changes everything about you.
yeah.
I submit that defines and explains the American church more than anything.
Mm,
You could just say in one word, buildings.
yeah.
That thing right there. We're obsessed with them.
Yeah.
It's our obsession. We have to have them. We have to have a nice big brick building.
Yeah.
And it defines everything we do. It should not be that way.
Mm-mm.
Did that define Paul?
No, the church is the people, right? Not the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what defined Paul. That's what defined Christ. People
Yeah.
meeting their needs, getting into these deep issues of principle, what's lacking in the human heart, the
Mhm.
human soul. Jake, we get up, it's important to keep context. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're talking about matters of faith. Let's talk about context. Every day when you get up, you face two opponents. They're both bigger than you. They're both stronger than you.
Mhm.
You can't beat either one of them alone, let alone both of them together. One, the demonic.
Yep.
It's a spiritual being committed to wickedness, committed to making you fail. You can't beat them. They have no regard for your accomplishments, for your title. They don't respond to love,
Nope.
faith, or hope. They are wholly committed to evil. You can't beat them.
Right.
The other opponent is you,
Mhm.
your flesh, your nature. It's bent toward wickedness. So that's a reality every morning when you get out of bed. I have a nature that is bent toward evil. I have spiritual beings pushing me toward evil. Part of me tends to agree with them, wants to go along with that. That's a grim outlook. It
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
Yeah,
It's a wonder the world's not far worse than it is. That's a daily reality. Well, here's the answer.
Yeah.
The answer to the demonic, it's not you.
Mm-mm.
They don't care about you. They have no regard. They know they can beat you.
No.
They are terrified of Christ.
Yep.
He beat them on their terms, on their turf. They know they have they cannot withstand anything from him. Our only hope with the demonic is authority,
Yep.
the word of Christ,
Yep.
the light, the word, the truth of Christ.
Yep.
Flesh, there's only one answer: death. Death, it must be killed.
Yeah.
You got to take it to the cross. Fortunately, we don't have to die ourselves.
Mhm.
It's been done for us. So, but that's a daily reality.
Mhm.
Mind to the word, flesh to the cross.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, and that was
Now,
Paul.
if you make a budget your number one thing, you will compromise that message.
Yes.
You will compromise the truth of that.
Yeah.
That's just a hard fact. And we've done it from sea to sea, from the East Coast to the West Coast, north to south. It's happened in virtually every community.
Yeah.
Because money just pretty attractive.
It's
That
money,
brick building, I like it.
money, fame.
Yes.
You know what? I was going
Yes.
through when I was going through Bible college. They always told us, they say, stay away from the money, stay away from the women, and stay away from the credit. You don't deserve you're right. You don't deserve
Yeah, there
the
you
credit. Don't
There you
believe
go.
don't believe your own press is what they would always say. Your message
That's
wasn't
right.
that good.
That's right.
You're not here to be famous. You're here to grow the kingdom of God and be invisible practically, right? It's like
Amen.
we want people to
Amen.
see Christ, not see us, and with our gold watches and our airplanes and our fancy cars, and
Yes, sir.
that's only the subset of, American Christianity. There are some really well-meaning guys out there that are
Yes.
just floating neck deep in bad decisions, and they're trying to unbury themselves from those bad decisions. And
That's correct.
man, we feel for you guys out there for sure. I mean, it's
Yes.
a rough spot to be in. Because you're not trying to be famous, you're not trying to put on a show, you're faithful to the gospel, and yet you just made a couple early purchases. Instead of going to 3 services, you decided to go with the bigger building. Just go 3 services.
Yeah. Amen. Well said. That's well said. Focus on debt free. If you can do it without debt, do it that way. If there's a way, you'll be far better served.
Well, God willing, there's a way. Most in most major metropolitan areas, there you can't you're going to stumble across some rich people who, if God's calling them to your church, they're a blessing to have. And maybe they can help you with some. And even at your church, I'm sure if they needed financial wisdom, I mean, they know who to talk to, right?
That happens often, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure they're picking your brain on stuff. They're just,
That happens. Yes.
Have you ever
Yes.
had to do like an analysis, like a multi-year projection for a nonprofit or for a church in this case?
I have done that. Yes. It's usually not as detailed
Yeah.
and not as involved, but as what I would do in the business world. But yes, that has happened. That's
What
correct.
what are some of the things you're looking at in regards to a projection, let's say a 5-year projection on a church?
Well, we would look carefully at our attendance. How stable are we?
Hmm.
Our potential on cash flow and things that we might do that would go wrong. We have our church programs, we have our plans, our outreach plans, et cetera. Are we doing anything that are we depending too heavy on growth? How are we on status? Are there risks in terms of continued attendance, et cetera? So, I'll tell you one mistake we make there is not accounting for human nature. God is faithful. You can build your life on his nature and his character. He is faithful. Well,
Hmm.
people aren't. People change.
Yeah.
Our tastes change, our opinions change. We're very whimsical by
Hmm.
nature. So you need to ask those questions. Looking forward, is our community changing? Is the what would a recession do to our community? Would
Hmm.
that mean job loss? What if a particular plant closes? Will that wipe out 60% of our congregation? They have to move to
Interesting.
get a job somewhere else. So the economic factors very much come to bear. Some communities are very dependent on manufacturing, and that might to get offshored. That could have a major impact on your congregation. So,
Yeah.
people are going to move every year. It's roughly 15-20% of a particular gathering in a community will move just their jobs and job changes and such. So, in change
Right.
of life, they'll move to kids and things like that. So, you
So
need to
15.
have that built into your projections.
So 15 to 20. I mean, I don't know many pastors. I've known a lot of pastors over the years, but I don't know many of them that are thinking about. Now I'm in Southern California.
Yeah.
We're densely populated, like, right. So
Yeah.
no churches here are thinking about factories closing and people not being around anymore. But
Yeah.
in those towns, beef processing towns or things where there's factories, are are those pastors are they thinking about closures? Do you get to talk about those things to them or no?
I have not gone on a consulting basis, so it's not like I peddle these services. But the answer is sometimes, but not
Mhm.
that often. But like in your area, Jake, the people might not move, but their budgets can change. Their cash flow can change.
Mm.
So you'll want to have that baked in and look at your projections. So a recession, what well, COVID's a great example. That hit
Mhm.
everyone coast to coast.
Yeah.
That was a huge impact. No matter what your economic base was, it hit all of us. So
Yeah.
things can happen. It's an uncertain world.
So unless in COVID, for instance, unless you had stacks of cash sitting in the bank or in a vault somewhere, you were kind of counting the days on some areas, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yes.
what is there a rule of thumb for let's say a young pastor out there that's managing his budget currently? Is there hey, set aside 20% of the offering for rainy days, kind of Joseph idea where you're putting stuff away
Yeah.
in time for famine?
No doubt about it. You would like to have in a reserve account cash enough to operate a year. If you're really blessed, you'll have 2 years. Now you have time to adjust.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, in a church, things go really south with somebody on staff. Let's say at the senior pastor, things go bad. You got to get a new one. Well, that's probably going to cost you some people. If you have a year of your operating budget set aside in cash in a money market, that's a buffer. That's a very nice buffer. If you have 2 years, you're in very good shape. Now you have time to adjust. We can find a new pastor. We can get our feet under us. If you have none, many churches have no buffer. In other words, if my offering goes down this week, I'm in trouble next week or next month. Well, you can't adjust. You have no buffer period there. It's just like in a personal budget around your house. You definitely want 3 months. That's like a minimum. Better is 6 months. So you look at your household expenditures. 3 months is a minimum you want laid back. 6 months is much nicer. If you've got 1 to 2 years, well, you're in pretty good shape. You can, because you can find a new job, you can move, you can take care of business, you can make adjustments in this modern world. The churches need to do the same, and it's the same windows actually. If you're down to a month, you're on the nubs. You're in trouble. 3 months should be a bare minimum. 6 months is much better. A year, you're in pretty good shape. 2 years, well, you're blessed and you're in great shape. You can adjust to about anything and respond over a 2-year window.
So if you're under 3 months, you should be in a cold sweat.
Yes, you should change.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this show, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. For more information about Jake, log on to jakegiffin.com and find him on all social media platforms. Until next time.